Gambia Participate, a non-governmental organization, has added the COVID-19 funding into its routine checks for standard financial management, with first report due to delivery next week. Key among the contents of their research, as hinted by the organization's executive director, is the lack of suitable measures for the country to cope the COVID-19 crisis. Despite the pledge by those entrusted with the funds that every amount will be judiciously be used, the young researchers are of the view that not much has been done in the transparency manner. For details of that, we go with this report.
Outbreak of the COVID-19 compelled the government of the Gambia to immediately commit $500 million to support efforts to contain the spread of the virus. This effort is being supported by the country's private sector, mainly through the Chamber of Commerce. As a result of public desire for transparency, the watchword has been followed the money, a call that had been emphasized even by members of the National Assembly.
The civil society organizations, the media, to put their eyes on these monies and monitor them very well. And I'll also urge even people who are within the spending committees of government to serve as whistleblowers should there be any element of corruption, should there be any element of diversion of funds into other sectors that it is not meant for. These monies are meant to save us.
Gambia Participates, a non-government organization, is due to release a report of finding into management of funds from bilateral and multilateral partners to the government of the Gambia. Under its fellow The Money Project, the activists have covered aspects of the country's response to the fight against COVID-19. Executive Director of the organizations hinted Eyeafrica that all is not well in terms of money management.
We took the risk, although there is a social distancing regulation that people should stay at home, but we could not. The reason why we can't stay home is because the money that are coming in, we've seen what happened in the Ebola period, how money were embezzled. So we decided to go out and then get our facts right. So the investigation that we are not investigative journalists, but we are an accountability organization that serve as a watchdog to the government to ensure they put their they take the right steps. So we use online tracking and on-site tracking. So we interview technical filming equipments to document what is actually on the ground.
The Minister of Finance announced last week that $21.3 million has landed into the central bank as a rapid credit facility from the International Monetary Fund, while $10 million from the central bank is being arranged for procurement of medical items. What is spent so far? The explanation of the country's Accountant General, Modulamin Ba, include payment for quarantine centers, trainings and allowance for health workers.
In terms of actual expenditure, we spending the $60 million here. The $100 million is relating to some procurement that is currently ongoing, is not yet concluded. So therefore it is set aside and not yet paid out. Because that is pending the completion of the procurement process, then the 100 million would be disbursed. But it is released to us as the paymaster, but we have not disbursed it out. So the other areas we have spent the 60 million include allowances for the health workers, travel expenses.
However, the research by Gambia Participates suggests that a lot of money might have gone through a different channel.
So we have been conducting research on the ground, going to different parts of the country to ascertain if actually these identified treatment centers, because there are 12 identified treatment centers in the country, and one of them is Soma Health Facility, Basse, and then that of Bansang. So we visited these health facilities and then we conducted a research, which I think the reports will be out by next week, and then we have discovered a lot of issues that made me believe that the country is ill prepared to respond to this pandemic.
It is in the belief of Gambia Participates that all funds meant for the fight against COVID-19 must be coordinated in a single account to prevent possibilities of institutionalized form of corruption. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante.
acca mu ngi noonu dégg ngeen report bi luñ ci wax duñ ci yàgg sax moon ñang mooy report bi daanaka wax nañ ci lu bëri mooy dafa am mbootaay bi nga xamante ne mooy mbootaay ndaw li seen taxawaay mooy seet daal yëfi koppar bi nga xamante ne nguur gi jël na ko pour dooga ko si xeex mi ñu dugal ko fu mu war a dem ci li nga xamante ne mooy xeex mi ñu ngi jàpp nag xëy na xaalis bi njuuj njaaj war na cee mun a am te ñoom am na li nga xamante ne def nañ ko ci te report bi dina génn te jàpp nañ ne daal yëf yi moom am na lu tàkk suuf daal.
am na luy ñuul si sool.
waaw
te askan bi nag moom loolu ñu ngi koy xaar de because gars yi ñu ne xaalis bi duñ bàyyi kenn mu lekk ko parce que xaalis si askan bi la doxalin bi ñu bëree ci askan bi rafetlu wuñ ko ñaawlu leen ko. waaye anyway ñu bëree nga topp pour gis ne dina fu mooy mujj dina nekk lu leer. den fu mooy mujj na buñ fa àggee ndax doxalin bi dina baax wala du baax. xel yi ñaaw nañ si. ñëpp ñaaw nañ si
ci National Assembly bi sax dañ ko waxoon. nee na journaliste yi nañ ci ba teg seen bët. civil society si activistes yi ak yu mel nañ xool xaalis bi fu moo dugg. ñu bañ cee am njuuj njaaj.